How WWE robbed Sasha Banks of her true potential. Sasha Banks, now known as Mercedes Moné, has left an indelible mark on the world of professional wrestling. As one of the most talented and charismatic performers of her generation, she has created unforgettable moments in WWE history. However, her career in WWE was also filled with missed opportunities and questionable booking decisions that left fans, and even Mercedes herself, wondering what could have been. Here's a look at the many times Sasha Banks was seemingly robbed in WWE. Short reigns and title mismanagement. Mercedes Moné made history as a multiple-time Raw Women's Champion, but her reigns were notoriously short-lived. She never successfully defended the Raw Women's Championship during her WWE tenure, a fact that deeply affected her confidence. In 2017, Mercedes openly voiced her frustration during an interview, admitting that the constant pattern of losing the championship after such short reigns took a toll on her. Each of her reigns lasted no more than a month, turning what should have been career highlights into painful reminders of WWE's inconsistent booking. The SummerSlam 2017 debacle. Perhaps one of the most egregious examples came at SummerSlam 2017. Sasha Banks defeated Alexa Bliss to win the Raw Women's Championship in a hard-fought match, only to lose it back to Bliss just 7 days later. Fans were baffled, as Sasha's victory should have been the start of a dominant reign. Instead, it added to the trend of fleeting title runs that failed to cement her as a long-term champion. The hometown heartbreak. Losing a championship is hard enough, but losing it in your hometown? That's exactly what happened to Sasha Banks when she dropped the Raw Women's Championship to Charlotte Flair in Boston. The loss not only added to her streak of short reigns, but also made it clear that Sasha was not being positioned as a consistent champion. The enhancement talent era. From late 2017 to early 2019, Sasha Banks was relegated to enhancement talent, losing approximately 80% of her matches. This period saw her being used to elevate other wrestlers rather than advancing her own career, leaving fans frustrated and confused about WWE's handling of such a marquee talent. The 2022 Royal Rumble letdown. Heading into the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble, Sasha Banks was a fan favorite to win the match. However, her night ended in shocking fashion when Zelina Vega eliminated her in under 10 minutes. For a star of Sasha's caliber, this early elimination was a glaring misstep, especially as it came at a time when fans were clamoring for her to re-establish her dominance in WWE. Losing to Becky Lynch after hiatus. After taking a hiatus, Sasha Banks returned to much fanfare, only to lose to Becky Lynch. While the match was competitive, it was a disappointing outcome for a wrestler who had been positioned as a main event star. This loss further highlighted WWE's hesitancy to give Sasha a sustained push upon her return. The WrestleMania streak of defeats. WrestleMania is the grandest stage of them all, but for Sasha Banks, it became a stage of heartbreak. She suffered 6 consecutive losses at WrestleMania, with the most notable being at WrestleMania 32. In this historic triple threat match, the Divas Championship was retired, and the Raw Women's Championship was introduced. Sasha entered the match with enormous momentum, delivering a spectacular entrance featuring Snoop Dogg and an Eddie Guerrero tribute. Yet, she came up short, with Charlotte Flair walking away as the inaugural Raw Women's Champion. A legacy beyond WWE's booking. Despite these setbacks, Sasha Banks remains a beloved figure in wrestling. Her talent, charisma, and ability to create memorable matches have earned her a devoted fanbase. While her WWE career may have been marked by missed opportunities, Mercedes Moné has since proven that her star power extends far beyond WWE. Trish Stratus on why she thinks WWE match with Sasha Banks didn't happen. Is there still hope that Trish Stratus and Mercedes Moné could face each other in WWE or elsewhere? Trish Stratus has been retired as a full-time competitor for nearly 2 decades, but the WWE Hall of Famer has been more than willing to dip her toes back into the water when the right opportunity presented itself. Over the years, we've seen Stratus tangle with the likes of Charlotte Flair, Bayley, and Becky Lynch, But the one dream matchup that never came to fruition seemed to be the most obvious to book following the 2018 Royal Rumble. The takedown on SI caught up with Trish at GalaxyCon Columbus last weekend and asked point-blank why she thinks she never faced off with Sasha Banks, now wrestling as Mercedes Moné in AEW, especially after their Rumble exchange and all their trash talking through the media. I really think people never thought I'd ever come back for another match. Like after the Royal Rumble, it was enough. It was a little sizzle reel, so to speak, of Trish Stratus and Stratusfaction, which is not easy to pull off, but it was like, all right, you still got it, or whatever. But to think I could come back after how many years to do a match? Like what? 12 years after my retirement, which is wild. But then, she left. Stratus would wind up competing over a dozen more times in WWE following the 2018 Royal Rumble, with her next bout happening at the All-Women's Evolution Premium Live event in October of that same year. Trish would team with her bestie Lita in tag team action against Mickie James and Alicia Fox, paying off another memorable exchange from the Women's Rumble match where Stratus and her old rival James came face-to-face once again. It wasn't until SummerSlam 2019 in her hometown of Toronto that Stratus would wrestle her first singles match since her full-time retirement. But with Sasha Banks on hiatus following WrestleMania 35, Trish made the pitch to WWE Creative to work with Charlotte Flair. Mercedes Moné's highly publicized exit from WWE in the spring of 2022 made it impossible for the pair to work together when Stratus was ready for her extended return last year. And any dreams of the two facing each other in AEW are never going to advance beyond the fantasy. I really am a WWE girl all the way, Stratus said when asked about that money matchup happening elsewhere. But she did leave the door open down the road. So much more life we have. Who is Sarath Tan? Exploring the personal and professional background of Sasha Banks' ex-husband. Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné, has come forward to officially confirm the news of her divorce from her husband of 8 years, Sarath Tan. In a heartfelt interview on YouTube show Moné Talks, Sasha Banks gets into the details of her marriage and her separation from her ex-husband. Since his retirement from WWE, Makaz has shifted his profession to a costume designer. Sarath Tan originally hails from Massachusetts. He was initially trained by local wrestler and trainer Kevin Landry. Sarath made his professional wrestling debut in 2002 in Premier Wrestling Federation Northeast under the ring name Kid Makaz. But it wasn't until 2012 that Sarath Tan made his formal WWE debut on Monday Night Raw under the ring name Rutherford Hayes. 3 years later, on May 21, 2015, Sarath made his NXT debut against the Vaudevillains. During a match with WWE in 2015, Sarath Tan sustained a grave shoulder injury that became the reason for his premature retirement. Thereafter, he was hired by WWE under the ring name Makaz as their professional costume designer. Sarath Tan is more popularly known